Hi, my name's Gail and I am the founder of Blossom and Berry, and I'm an international expert in baby massage and baby yoga. Thank you so much for joining me on this short webinar that I'm doing today, which is called The Mother of Reinvention. Now, I'm sharing my experience with you because it is a transformational one, and I'd like to help you ditch the fear and have the courage to pursue your dreams and transform your life in the way that I have. So I started off life as a project finance lawyer working in the City of London, and I wasn't very happy. I felt disconnected, inauthentic and pretty confused most of the time. When I became a mother, I had a transformational experience, and it was the most incredible, amazing thing that ever happened to me, and it's my greatest joy to this day. And in becoming a mother, I found and understood what true love was. I felt what it felt like to be connected to your passion, be it both my family and my business. And I started to live my truth and my most aligned life to my idea of happiness. So I just wanted to talk you through how I did that and why baby massage and yoga has been so fundamentally crucial to helping me live the life that I want to with my family, personally and professionally. So as I mentioned in the beginning, I started off life as a project finance lawyer in the city. I actually went to a pretty dodgy comprehensive school in North London. It wasn't a great environment to learn. I got really good grades and I did very well. There was no one in my family who'd ever been to university, so both my teachers and my parents encouraged me to do my best and go to university to read law. Now, at the time, I didn't know what law was. I didn't have a natural connection to it. I actually wanted to work behind the scenes in TV, but because everyone around me was saying to me, this is an amazing opportunity, because I had fantastic grades, I thought, yeah, you know what? I'm going to give this a go. It can change up my life. It's an amazing opportunity that not everyone has, so I'm going to do it. But then what happened was when I went to university, very quickly I realised that I didn't like law. I was very disconnected to my subject. Because at the time I had a really amazing memory, I was able to pass my law degree without too much study. I don't know if I could do that today, but I used to just cram before my exams, and I passed my law degree with a 2-1. I was then offered an amazing job opportunity by a big law firm in the city who was going to pay for my law school fees. They were going to give me an amazing salary and fantastic career progression. So obviously that's what I decided would be a great thing to do. And my husband was a lawyer, my friends were lawyers, my parents were really proud. So I ended up working in London as a lawyer, but from the moment I arrived on the very first day, I realised that I was in the wrong place doing the wrong thing, and I felt inauthentic at all times. In fact, I had a bit of a blushing problem because I felt so embarrassed about where I was and what I was doing. So most of the time I felt a bit like a fraud. I felt like a zombie just going through the process of working at the law firm, not having an attachment. In terms of my work colleagues, it was either work hard or play hard, so really long hours, or partying hard at night. There was never anything in my fridge and I didn't look after myself. So I was on a bit of a crash course, and this actually made me feel pretty negative. I started to really question a lot of things about myself, and I started to get a little bit depressed, and I wasn't quite sure what it was that would make me happy. Now, luckily, I was able to have a short break between my training contract and starting my job, and I went to South America with my husband. This is me in Peru. And when I was out there, I did some real soul searching, and I knew that I was really unhappy, and I didn't quite know how to solve it. So I'm not religious, but I kind of went out there and I set an intention, or I prayed to the universe or God or whoever you want to think, whoever is in control of all of this, and I kind of asked for some sense of direction. And nothing immediately arrived, and I kind of thought that would be the case, and so I didn't really question it too much. But then suddenly, out of the blue, I had a happy accident and I found myself pregnant. So I'd only been married for about 6 months. I had this amazing job in the city to return to. I was only 25 and suddenly I was pregnant. But from the moment I became pregnant, I knew that this was the sign. This is what I had been gifted. This is what I was meant to be. I was meant to be a mum, and I loved my pregnancy. I felt very positive all the way through. I was very calm. I was very relaxed, even though I'd never held a baby before in my life. I felt this kind of inner connection even before my baby was born. And here's a picture of me just before I was about to give birth to my daughter 17 years ago. And even in these moments, I felt really calm. I couldn't wait to meet my daughter because I kind of knew that my life was about to begin. But I didn't really fully appreciate the full transformation that was going to occur as a result of having my daughter and how it would affect the rest of my life. So when my daughter was born, and despite having never held a baby before in my life and being quite child shy, my natural instinct really kicked in. I couldn't believe that I had this beautiful baby that loved me unconditionally and I loved her. I felt this deep connection that I'd never had before in my life. I felt empowered, I felt positive, I felt excited about life. I couldn't wait to play again as I did as a child with my own child, and I've had an incredibly positive experience. And so I knew that I didn't want to leave my daughter. I wanted to be there for her, present in her life, to be her guide, to be her teacher, and I didn't want to be absent by being at work. So I kind of made the decision I was going to leave my job, but I didn't quite know what to do. I then went along by chance to a baby massage class. So baby massage is a fantastic way to soothe things like colic, wind and constipation, and that's why I initially went, because a friend told me that this is what I would get out of the class. But little did I know about all of the other incredible benefits of baby massage. So when I went to the class, I not only learned how to really connect with Emily and meet her needs and help her with her colic, I felt empowered as a parent. I realised that I had all the skills that I needed to be the best and the perfect parent for my daughter. I realised that all of the answers to what I needed to do as a parent came from just tuning in and connecting and listening and being present for my daughter, that she would show me everything I needed to know. And I made some really good friends and built a little community to support me as well. And so my experience around baby massage was so positive that I wanted to share this experience with as many women and men, as many parents as I could across the world, because I wanted everybody to have this same experience of creating a deep, loving, connected bond. And so I decided to give up my job as a solicitor, much to the alarm of all of my friends and family, and set up my own local business. So I just started off teaching mums and dads, and I worked for children's centres, gyms, and I started to extend my practice. And I did all of this around my children. So very quickly in my life, 2 new team members of the Berry family arrived, Xavier and Casper, who are my sons. And so during that time, I was able to perfectly balance being present, available, and being able to be very connected to my children. But at the same time, I was able to pursue my own passion and what I felt was my true purpose on life, which was to teach mums and dads baby massage and yoga and help to create these connected relationships. So through having my daughter and through tuning into my own needs, desires and wants, and by being truly authentic with myself, I realised that my true purpose was to go out into the world and teach love, and to teach love through practicing nurturing touch, massage and yoga, and to help to create loving, connected relationships across the world through Blossom and Berry. And I realised as well that I could only do so much on my own. So I was teaching a lot of parents in my local classes, but to make a real impact on the world, I needed to join up with other aligned people who shared the same vision as me to help to create a more loving, connected world by teaching our children and our babies that they're loved and to go out into the world and act with love. And so I started Blossom and Berry And initially, I didn't have much time, I didn't have much money, so I started it as a very basic distance learning course because I knew that a lot of my clients couldn't spare the time or didn't have the money to be able to go away on a teacher training course. So I set it up sending out ring binders and burning DVDs and sending them out in the post to people all across the world. It was a very basic kind of form of Blossom and Berry. But then technology gifted me the amazing platforms that we have today in terms of WordPress websites and Teachable and Thinkify and all these things that allow online learning to be so effortless, simple, and just to flow. And so Blossom and Berries really started to expand. And I started to get emails from people from Dubai, from Mexico, from Singapore, from Africa, asking to learn baby massage because they too realised the importance of creating loving connection between parents and babies. And they wanted to use baby massage as the tool to share this important message. So now I have over 600 teachers across the world. We're in almost every continent and we are out there teaching love. Now, it's very important to me when I set up my business to have a business model that reflects my beliefs. So I believe in freedom, in the ability to express yourself, in creativity. So when I set up my business, I wanted it to allow my teachers to be their own kind of beautiful. So I have the seed of Blossom and Berry that comes from my experience, and then through my research, studies, course and education, I built the really firm roots that have allowed my training to then grow. And each individual branch of Blossom and Berry across the world then has an individual teacher who has their own unique, beautiful blossoming business. And so I love that way of doing business. I love the fact that all my teachers are independent and unique, and yet they have the strong foundations of Blossom and Berry behind them. I've also been able to go out and set up charitable projects across the world. The most obvious one that you might have seen already is my projects in Malawi, where I support mother and baby health through safe motherhood education and baby massage. And these are thriving and actually leading on to things like farming cooperatives and also adult literacy programs as well. We also work in orphanages in Africa to help the babies that need the most vital touch get that loving connection that is absolutely essential for their early brain development and their emotional intelligence. So I'm able to now do that as my business has grown. So I believe that when you become a parent, you actually develop a lot of the skills that are fantastic and help you in building up your own business. And I think that birthing a business is very similar to birthing a baby. So if you've birthed a baby, you can definitely birth a business. And I think you'll find that many of the skills that will make you an amazing parent will also make you a great entrepreneur. So first of all, when you think about preparing for your baby or preparing to launch your business, this is the dreamy time. This is when we can just have all these expectations of how it's going to be when your baby's born or when your business comes into the world. And this is where we think about names and what the nursery is going to look like and the little cute clothes and the prams or the slings or whatever it is that you're using. And we get really excited during this phase, and we imagine that we're going to be birthing the next rock legend or prime minister somewhere in the world. And the same really is for your business as well. So this is the fun part where you can really start to think about who are you serving, what colours are you using in your logo, what's the name of your business, how are you going to operate, who's in your team, where are you going to do it? So all of this amazing creativity flows through you, both when you are pregnant and when you're starting a business. And I believe that giving birth to a baby and giving birth to a business is one of the most creative things that you'll ever do. And then it's time for birth. So although a woman's body is designed to perfectly give birth, and it shouldn't be a painful or difficult process. Those of you who've had a baby will know that birth can be difficult, it can be long, it requires lots of energy, it requires lots of dedication. You certainly cannot give up. And this is the same when you're birthing your business as well. There will be pain points, there will be work needed. You are going to have to kind of breathe through some of the tricky moments. And ultimately, both of them are an act of labour. They require lots of input and work. But eventually, what comes out of birth, whether it's a baby or a business, is something incredible, something wonderful, something that you've made, you've created, and that you can love and grow and expand. So it's a fantastic thing to be able to do. And I also think then, if we look about what happens when you actually have your baby in terms of expectation meets reality, babies and startups, again, there's a lot of similarities here. So both babies and startups require lots of energy. Basically, your baby or your business needs you, and you're the only one who can really meet their needs. So it's really important to be connected and present with your baby and your business, and you are the one that can really put the energy behind your baby and your child and your business to allow it to grow. And babies and businesses grow with love, with attention, and with connection. Also, both babies and startups often give us the feeling that we're totally out of our comfort zone. That's because, there's no manual really for either. So you're learning on the job, you're making mistakes, you're probably beating yourself up, and you're trying to find out what the answer is. I think really there is no answer. You just have to learn as you go. It's a process of trial and error, and it's a process of trust. There's quite a lot of overthinking that happens when you have a baby. What should you be doing? You take loads of advice from people, you don't really know where you're going, and you often ignore your inner voice. The same thing kind of happens when you have a business. And we're both, with a baby and a business, looking around all the time thinking, hey, they've got it sorted. I'm going to do what they're doing because, they seem to have got it down. But actually, that's their experience and not ours. So very much babies and businesses is about tuning in and making sure that all of your actions are aligned with your ultimate goal, which for me is growing a happy, contented, successful business, and also a happy, contented, successful family as well. Also, we spend quite a lot of time when you have a new baby and a startup finding someone to help you. So for new mums, it's, can you make me some food? Can I go to have a shower? Can I go to the loo in peace? All of these important questions that come up when you're a mum. But for a startup, it's things like, I can't work my MailChimp, I don't know how to set up a website, I don't know how to create a logo. What I would say again is, for both mums and both parents and entrepreneurs, get your team, get your village, get your support, get your community. It's absolutely essential for your success, whether you're a parent or an entrepreneur. Also, you kind of have to be available 24/7. Your business is your baby, so you've got to really nurture it to allow it to grow. And with babies, we all know they don't kind of have an off switch. They need their needs met at whatever time of day. And ultimately, with both of them, at the beginning, you might not get too much sleep. So I believe that a growth mindset is essential for both parenting and entrepreneurship. You will make mistakes, you won't get it right first time. There are no silver bullets, crystal balls, magic wands. It's a question of just allowing yourself to grow into the experience with your business, with your baby, to kind of keep tuning into what your business and your baby needs, and just following the path with the confidence that every time you have an experience, it's going to teach you something, even if it feels difficult and hard at the first point. And also, if we talked about being out of your comfort zone. So, that's exactly as it said. When you expand and grow, you start to move out of your comfort zone. And so growing can feel quite painful, but ultimately that's how we expand and develop. So I think really the key thing, if I had to think of one thing that's really helped me in my business and helped me to achieve the success I have in my personal life and in my professional life, it would be love. And I truly believe that love creates love, and this is Blossom and Berry's mantra. So when I'd connected with what I truly loved, when I connected with my purpose, when I started to listen to myself and be authentic, I then life just kind of fell into place, and I started to get my flow. I realised what I wanted to do, and I was able to go out and teach love not only to my family but also to parents and babies. And then from that place, those parents and babies and my family are going out into the world, and they're interacting and being present with others with love. And then through my community of teachers across the world, I'm then allowing those parents to actually connect with their what they love, and their families who they love, and with the wider community as well. So from that point of original connection and discovery of my love and passion, other people and other families and other babies and other communities are experiencing love. So connect with what you love. This is the most important thing that you can do. And I know that when you start something new, it can feel scary. All those fears, they hold us back. They keep us in the same place. They stop us from growing and expanding. But what I want to say is that everything that is alive changes and grows. It's a natural process. Don't resist it. Allow yourself to grow through the discomfort to achieve what you want to achieve. And so ultimately, I would ask you now to go and connect with your purpose with love, and have the courage to reinvent yourself so that you're living your most aligned life and you're putting as much love as you can into the world.